don't want to admit that because it
That is
doesn't fit
true.
the narrative.
Can I ask you a question though?
Me?
Can I ask you a question? Yes.
Shoot.
So let's just be honest. You know, Terrence Crawford has just been marketed better. At the end of the day, we know how good Terrence is, man. I don't want you to sit here and think because we're going for Arrow that we don't know, man. Terrence is walking right into the Hall of Fame. That goes without saying. And let's be honest, man, when he fought Victor Postol, he was a monster. So nobody's taking away from Terrence Crawford, man. I'm just saying, in my humble opinion, I think Arrow's a better fighter. And we're gonna see come next week. But I'm telling you this, man, Terrence Crawford really got shafted by Bob Arum. And that's kind of crazy because listen,
Super
listen
chat.
what I'm saying. Listen what I'm saying. He said he didn't make the Manny Pacquiao fight because he didn't want Manny Pacquiao to get hurt bad. Freddie Roach has been calling Terrence Crawford Floyd Mayweather S. So we know what kind of fighter he is, man. So what I'm saying is this. But when he get in there with the marvelous Errol Spence, he gonna get beat to death.
He might.
That's gonna
Errol Spence is good for me to do, but I just don't think he will because he makes too many mistakes, and he's 469 days since his last fight. You making that face, but if he fought the same way against Ugas, he fights against Terrence Crawford, he loses. If he puts up the same performance he did against Ugas, you know he loses against Bud. Come on, man, keep it.
I'm biased.
And
I'm biased.
if Crawford do
They
the
both
same
have
thing he did
important
with me,
opinions.
Machine, he loses. If he do the same thing he did with Gamboa, he loses. So what's the problem?
I say this though, you gotta keep in mind, unbiased. They both have fought one time in the last 3 years. None of these guys are active. At the end of
We
the day,
Terrence Crawford fights once every year the last couple of years. The Errol
the last
Spence
three.
has 3 fights in the last 5 years. Terrence
Yeah.
Crawford has a fight every year at least.
But listen to what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, I'm not gonna be like my man D-Town and discredit Terrence when he broke his
Yeah.
gloves beating him on David Avocado's head. I never seen somebody get their head beat so bad the gloves. All I can say is this:
Thank you for calling that
Terrence
out.
Crawford,
I'm talking about
Terrence
he got
Crawford,
Crawford. He
Terrence
don't.
Crawford is walking right into the Hall of Fame, man. He's gonna
Look,
walk right. And I'm gonna tell you this: this is the funny thing. If Errol was to lose this fight, he's not a Hall of Famer. That's a fact.
let me
Bud
tell you
already
something.
is a Hall of
In
Famer.
this era, I think he still will get in though.
Let me tell
Especially,
you something.
I
Let me,
don't think his career is done with after this fight anyway.
no, let me tell you something. First of all, Crawford thumb was already unraveling when he got in the ring. So that's stopped the cap. It already was unraveling. And second of all, when I say that he fought lower level competition, I'm saying at 147. I'm not talking about at 140, 135. I give him the credit for all that. I give him, he did exactly what he was supposed to do because his promoter put him in positions to do what he was supposed to. I understand all that. What I'm saying is he had an opportunity to fight when he moved up. He decided to take Jeff Horn instead of the other guys. We seen Mayweather went up once again 2 times in 2 different weight classes, having the WBC belt, moved right on up and fought the WBC champion. And Roy Jones Jr. went from light heavyweight up to heavyweight with the WBC belt and made the fight easy. So don't tell me about the WBO is easy than the rest of them. No, he had to pick up the litter and he decided to jump on easy Jeff Horn. That's what the case was.
Disingenuous again. I'm gonna tell you why you're disingenuous. You naming fighters who have more capital cash wise, Terrence Crawford. Because we're gonna be honest, Terrence Crawford didn't draw that Errol Spence is. Errol Spence did more on the pay-per-view side. He generates more capital on that level. We're gonna keep it honest here. But
So who made more money out of Oscar De La Hoya and Mayweather?
let me
Who
finish.
made more money out of Oscar De La Hoya and Mayweather?
Finish, please. You're mentioning fighters who have a higher profile. Maybe not. I mean, talent-wise, Terrence Crawford might be able to be in the same breath as them. But when it comes to profile, you talking about different. You talking about different levels here. You talking about Roy Jones and Floyd Mayweather. Come on, bro. And you know how the sanctioning bodies operate. They do favoritism for certain fighters. So like you playing with slippery slopes right now to fit your narrative. Now, here's the deal about what
I'm biased.
VV said.
I'm
'Cause you
biased.
said
I'll say this: they don't play narratives. What the belts do is who makes money. If you make money, you can hold my belt all you want.
yeah,
That's
we
what
see
they
that
do.
right now with somebody who hadn't fought in 2 years and he's still holding on to the belt when they should have. When somebody's getting screwed over right now about getting a chance to get a shot.
Yeah, it's you know what it is. I'm gonna tell you something funny. What Errol has done is what all the great fighters have done. He has an emotional connection with his fans. We all love him, and we all want to see him win. So what you're getting from Errol fans, a lot of us been watching him since he was in the amateurs. So
I
we
have
kind
no
of seen him
clue.
come
I
up
got
all the
a
way.
story to tell you. I knew about Spence before Crawford. I was actually before this fight was made, before they first went to the first set of negotiations. I would honestly say I probably was a little bit more of an Errol fan than Bud, but I just didn't have a dog in the fight. See, the thing is, this first set of negotiations, I differ from a lot of people. I feel like Spence hid behind what PBC's agenda was, which I don't think they was necessarily really worried about the Crawford fight. They was going to make it, but if it didn't happen, hey, we got Thurman right here, because it seemed like they tried to force him to do that fight by petitioning the WBC on his behalf, and Thurman saying we tried to put the political pressure. That's why I was so upset with Spence, because I felt like you said you want this fight, you said you had a goal, and right now you're letting other people dictate this, and they work for you. And when he stepped up and did what he has done, he got every bit of my respect back. But at the end of the day, when I saw the 10th round with Porter and Bud, that's when I knew that Terrence Crawford would beat Errol Spence in a fight, because listen, again, Spence is a phenomenal fighter, but y'all got to keep it a beam. If you look at their tool belt and they was going to work on a home, who would have more tools in the belt? Would Spence have more tools in the belt, or would Bud have more tools in the belt?
You don't know what Spence got, so how you know?
Well, okay, well, listen, if you don't, you ever heard the phrase, if you don't use it, you lose it? So how you going to talk about how you don't know what Spence got if he hasn't been...
I think what he did with Mikey Garcia, he changed it up with Mikey. Oh, go ahead.
You feel confident that he's going to do something that's going to be successful, that he hasn't done that much. And Mikey Garcia was a small guy. He was at 135, went up to 140, then went back to 135, and then went up to 147 to fight Errol Spence. Errol Spence, personally, I think he should have knocked him out. I thought he was going to knock him out. I did. I lost money because I bet on the knockout, just to let you know.
Well, you know that's your problem, because you didn't do your research. If you would have paid attention to what Errol Spence said, you wouldn't have lost no money. But that's what people do when they go with their heart instead of going with their ears and paying attention. The man outboxed him. You went off of what every other Crawford fan did, thought the same stuff instead of paying attention to what the man told you. So that was only your fault, the reason why you lost money.
Errol Spence said he was going to knock him out. What are you talking about?
No, he said I'm gonna go. He said I'm gonna go in there and show the world I'm gonna outbox him, because they say he's gonna outbox me.
He did that after fight. Nice try though. See, look.
No.